6 years ago, on a frosty winter morning, a tiny trembling ball of fur entered the shelter. He was named Tarasik. The shelter workers decided to place him in a separate winter pen with no windows, a place where time seemed to stand still. In that solitary confinement, Tarasik grew, his once soft puppy fur turning into a wild and unkempt coat. Days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and soon, 6 long years had passed. Tarasik became a ghost in the shelter, a mysterious figure hidden away from the eyes of those who roamed the kennels. Then, in the year 2020, a turning point occurred. Tarasik was found in the quarantine enclosure, a discovery that set in motion a series of events that would change his fate forever. Wild and unsociable, he wouldn't let anyone approach, biting at outstretched hands with a mix of fear and distrust. He accepted food but never ventured beyond the confines of his pen. In a shelter with over 2,700 dogs and almost 300 cats, Tarasik was a mere statistic, noticed only occasionally by the staff. No one dared to take on the challenge of taming such a feral creature. Yet in the midst of the bustling shelter life, Tarasik found an unlikely ally, a volunteer named Alina. Alina took on the responsibility of caring for Tarasik. Regularly changing the flooring of his enclosure, bringing food and water, she patiently chipped away at the walls of his fear. Tarasik, in his solitude, started to grow accustomed to the presence of a kind human. Then, in October 2020, a significant change occurred. Tarasik was moved from his isolated pen to a cage with 2 other dogs, Milka and Dimka. Dimka, the more sociable of the two, helped Tarasik leave the enclosure. Milka, on the other hand, became his protector, a warm shield against the cold and a guardian against perceived threats. November brought a momentous occasion. Tarasik, Milka, and Dimka went for their first walk on the shelter's expansive grounds. At first, Tarasik was hesitant, his tail and ears tucked in fear. But gradually, the spark of freedom ignited within him. He frolicked and rejoiced, rediscovering a joy long forgotten. The once silent Tarasik found his voice, barking in unison with the other shelter residents. As Tarasik eagerly awaits his new beginning, the shelter holds its breath, hoping that somewhere out there, a compassionate soul will step forward to take him home and introduce him to the warmth of domestic life.